everyone, this is Ashley Jones and I wanted to show you how you could create a custom shaped zipper bag in the In the Hoop Designer software. So let's start a new workspace and we're going to go to the wizard and grab our zipper. So I'm going to click Open Templates. Now you do not have to create a custom zipper bag if you don't want. Built into the software there are a ton of different bags that you could just select, customize, and stitch. There's round, hexagon, rectangle, and square bags all built in for a number 3 and also a number 5 zipper. So let's first take a look at one of these bags and how it works so that we'll understand how to make our own custom bag. So I'm going to select, say, let's do this 4x4 bag here and click OK. And now I can change my design by clicking the library option, and I can also change my text here in the text box, but zipper bags cannot be resized, and that's due to the zipper placement design so that it's going to work out correctly with your zipper, and we're going to talk about that a little more. So I'm just going to leave everything as is, click OK, put it on our workspace here. So now this zipper bag, if we watch the stitch simulator, the way that it stitches out, the first thing that you get is the zipper placement, then the zipper tack down, and then this is the tack down of the fabric making the seam. The next thing that's going to happen is this quilting, and then your design and text. And then after that stitches, the next thing that you're going to get is a straight line. In this case, it's a straight line in the opening area. So it stitches to attach the outer fabric and your support material to the bag with just this one stitch, and then the last stitch is going to completely go all the way around the bag except for the opening area, and that's going to attach the lining to the bag and leave an opening for turning. So to make this really simple, let's go back to our select tool and let's just delete everything but the absolute necessary parts, so for learning purposes. So I'm going to delete the quilting, I'm going to delete the text, and I'm going to delete the design. Okay, so now for just the basic zipper bag, these are the steps that you need. You've got your zipper, you've got your tack down stitch for your seam, and then you've got this stitch here that again is where your opening is. It's attaching the outer lining and the support material to the bag, and this last stitch is going to stitch all the way around and leave an opening. Okay, so we need to duplicate these last two options here. So if I hide everything so that we can see, so we need to duplicate this stitch for our bag and this stitch for the opening. So I'm going to turn both of them on, so now you can see the red stitch in the opening is one color, and then the stitch around the outside. So let's do this on the heart-shaped bag. So I'm going to open up a new workspace. Let's go back into our wizard, go into the templates, and in this case we're going to just choose our zipper. Choose number 3 or number 5, whichever you want. I'm going to do a number 3, click OK, and then I'm not changing anything, and you can see everything's grayed out anyway, it won't let me, and it puts it on my workspace. Now with it still selected, I'm going to rotate it so that it's horizontal. Now when you're resizing a zipper, I'm going to select everything again. You can resize a zipper longer or shorter, but you do not want to stretch it wider because it will ruin the placement of these lines for your zipper placement, zipper tack down, and your decorative seam line here. Okay, so you can resize it longer, or in this case wider, or shorter. Okay, so now let's grab our shape. We've got our zipper and it's all grouped together so we don't mess up our parts. I'm going to go into my shapes, Go to the shapes category, and I'm just going to choose the heart. The egg would be a really good one, but be mindful of a bag, and remember you got to turn this inside out, so you don't want something too intricate, like these flames might be a little hard to do, but the heart here, the egg would be a good option, so I'm going to click OK. Now set the size that you want your zipper bag, so over here in the artwork properties area, I can click the transform tab and I can set the size. So I'm going to make mine about 6 inches, and I have maintain aspect ratio checked, so I'm going to do 6 and click apply. Okay, and my zipper actually is wide enough already. So I'm just going to move this down to where I want my zipper. Okay, so now remember what we need. We've got all of our zipper parts. We really need 2 things to make a zipper bag. We need an opening, and we need that opening stitch to attach our top part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a copy of this artwork so that I've got both of those pieces. So I'm going to copy and paste, and you can see over here I've got 2 artwork hearts. Okay, I'm going to change the second one to red, and to do that I just right mouse click on the red color down here below. So now you can see they are separate colors. I've got a blue one and I have a red one. Okay, so the last one, the very last object, the red heart, is the one that we want the opening where we put a hole for turning. Okay, the one before that is where we just want the line that closes it up. So I'm going to select my eraser tool. Your eraser tool only works with artwork. So for your eraser tool to become active, you have to select the artwork. And I'm going to do that over here in my sequence view so I know I'm selecting the correct one. Click the eraser. And I'm just going to erase a section of my heart. Now I want to do it on this straight part because it'll be easier to turn. So I'm just going to select and erase. Okay. And now that line that's behind there is actually my blue one that we're seeing. So I'm going to choose my select tool, and then let's turn on our grid here so we can see where we erased. I'm going to hide the blue one so I can really see my opening here. Now let's do undo, and I'm going to erase a little bit different area here. So undo just one time, we'll put that back. I accidentally did undo twice and it made mine the same color. Okay, so now to erase, let's do that again. Let's select our red one, click our eraser, and by turning on my grid I can erase just this area, and I know where I'm stopping and starting. So I'm going to use my eraser and just erase this area right here, just in that 2-inch area. Okay, and so I'm going to click back on my select tool, and then I'm going to hide the blue one over here in my sequence view. Just turn that eye off so we can see that hole. Okay, so you can see that area that we erased. So now let's turn the red one off and turn the blue one on. And so now I'm going to erase the opposite area. I need to erase all of this so that nothing is left but that one line here. So I'm going to click my eraser tool, and here I'm going to erase everything except the part that I did before. And I'm just holding my erase and I'm dragging it over, and it's looking like it's erasing my grid and my run stitches, but it's not. Okay, so just erase, you click and hold and drag, and then now I'm only left with that part there. So I'm going to click my select tool, and I'm going to turn on my red one, and now it's hard to tell the color difference, but you can see that I've got the red heart and I've got the blue line. That's going to make them stitch separately. So now select each of these. You can select both of them at one time by holding down your control key and selecting both, and you're going to click to turn them into a run stitch. Now since this is the final stitches of the bag, instead of just a run stitch, you might want something a little stronger, and I like to make mine like a 2-ply or a bean stitch, because then it's going to triple stitch or double stitch so that you are really getting a good hold. And now if we watch our bag stitch out, we've got our zipper placement, zipper tack down, our seam stitches, And then we've got that part that's going to close the opening, so that's going to stitch my outer bag and my support material. And then the last stitch here is going to stitch the lining, and it'll leave that opening where I had that stitch. So if you take a look at the instructions, I'm going to go back to my wizard here. If you take a look at the instructions for any of the bags, this will give you the step-by-step detail on how to complete a zipper bag. And so I definitely recommend doing one of the built-in zipper bags before trying to create your own. Then you'll kind of understand those steps. But here, those last two steps, this is what's happening here. We're putting the foam on. We would stitch that opening closed here. Then when we put our lining fabric, it would stitch all the way around. So that's those last two steps. But stitch out one of these bags, follow the instructions, and then you'll be ready to create your own custom bag with this tutorial.